Well, I want to take some questions from our patrons. So here's the first question. Can one be a Catholic feminist?
Mm-hmm. That's a really great question because it's one that I am still asking myself. So I am a Catholic, as you know. I love being a Catholic. I hope to think I hope I'm a devout Catholic. But I'm not sure. I have ambivalence about the label feminist because so much of it depends on how you're defining it, right?
Yeah.
But I do think an authentic kind of Catholic feminism is possible. But the requirement would be that the underlying premises, the underlying presuppositions, the kind of frame of the worldview has to be Catholic. It can't be feminist. Because that's sort of where I think I went awry. Because at some point it shifted where I was, looking at Christianity from kind of basically secular presuppositions, feminist presuppositions, and then taking what I thought was good from Christianity and incorporating it into my feminism. So I think an authentic Catholic feminism, it has to be deeply Catholic in its worldview, and then that will shape what the feminism looks like. So there has to be a commitment to the dignity of the human person at any stage of life, right? So I think an authentic Catholic feminism will be wanting to cultivate a culture of life. So a Catholic feminist, I think, should be very concerned about things that, like abortion, that contribute to a culture of death. I think that a Catholic feminism would be very concerned about the sort of sexual exploitation of women, certainly things like sex trafficking and human trafficking. I mentioned earlier surrogacy outsourcing, right? So the wonderful thing about Catholicism is that it's so deeply incarnational. The body matters. The body matters. And so a Catholic feminist is going to be working from the premise that human embodiment is sacred and dignified, and that the body reveals the person. And so that is going to put, I think, a Catholic feminism at odds at key points with secular feminism. And there's also this richness in the Catholic tradition that a secular feminism wouldn't have access to, like the wonderful writings of the saints, the female saints that we have throughout the tradition. And so a good resource that's really heavy duty, but I would recommend to any Catholic who's really interested in feminism and women is the Concept of Woman. It's a 3-volume series by the philosopher Prudence Allen, who's a religious sister, but she basically traces the concept of woman from the birth of philosophy with Plato and Aristotle, the pre-Socratics, down through the present time, and so she shows how, in fact, the Catholic tradition has these amazing resources for thinking about the dignity of particularly being a woman, and what that means. And I think that the Catholic worldview is an antidote to many of the ills of our culture, related especially to sexuality and the body.
Yo, thanks for watching. You can watch the entire episode on YouTube if you want. You can listen to it at The Matt Fradd Show by subscribing on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And feel free to support me, patreon.com/MattFradd.